0 satellites, 24 satellites, horizon, altitude 0. Navigating to waypoint 1, 25 satellites. Heading 83, range 51, altitude 24, voltage 12, 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 2, 24 satellites. 25 satellites. Heading 213, range 71, altitude 24, voltage 11.8, 24 satellites. 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 3. Heading 353, range 66, altitude 24, voltage 11.9, 25 satellites. Heading 355, range 35, altitude 24, voltage 11.8, navigating to waypoint 4, 1 minute. 25 satellites. Heading 202, range 4, altitude 24, voltage 11.8. 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 5. Heading 63, range 45, altitude 30, voltage 11.8, 25 satellites. Heading 62, range 71, altitude 30, voltage 11.8. Navigating to waypoint 6, 25 satellites. Heading 292, range 69, altitude 30, voltage 11.7, 2 minutes, 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 7. 24 satellites. Heading 171, range 29, altitude 30, voltage 11.6, 25 satellites. Heading 169, range 69, navigating to waypoint 8, altitude 30, voltage 11.7, 25 satellites. Heading 288, navigating to waypoint 9, range 50, altitude 30, voltage 11.7, 25 satellites. Heading 62, range 41, altitude 29, voltage 11.7, 3 minutes, 24 satellites. 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 10, heading 180, range 100, altitude 30, voltage 11.6, 24 satellites, 23 satellites. 25 satellites. 26 satellites, heading 216, range 72, altitude 31, navigating to waypoint 11, voltage 11.6, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. Heading 351, range 36, altitude 24, voltage 11.5, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 12, heading 99, range 55, altitude 24, voltage 11.5, 4 minutes. 26 satellites. Heading 111, navigating to waypoint 13, range 100, altitude 24, voltage 11.5, 26 satellites, 25 satellites. Heading 243, range 33, altitude 24, voltage 11.4, 26 satellites, 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 14, 26 satellites, heading 53, range 50, altitude 23, voltage 11.4, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. 25 satellites. Heading 47, range 45, navigating to waypoint 15, altitude 23, voltage 11.3, 5 minutes, 26 satellites, 24 satellites. 26 satellites, navigating to waypoint 16, heading 250, range 55, altitude 22, voltage 11.2, 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 17, 26 satellites. Heading 356, range 28, altitude 22, voltage 11.4. Navigating to waypoint 18. Heading 74, range 47, altitude 22, voltage 11.3. Navigating to waypoint 19, 26 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 20. Heading 237, range 60, altitude 22, voltage 11.3, 25 satellites, 6 minutes, 26 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 21. Heading 3, range 42, altitude 26, voltage 11.3, 26 satellites. Heading 9, navigating to waypoint 22, range 53, altitude 26, voltage 11.2. 26 satellites. Heading 165, range 49, altitude 26, voltage 11.2, 25 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 23, 26 satellites. Heading 5, range 60, altitude 26, voltage 11.2, 7 minutes, 26 satellites. Navigating to waypoint 24, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. Heading 220, range 47, altitude 26, voltage 11.1, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. Heading 223, navigating to waypoint 25, range 58, altitude 24, voltage 11.2, 26 satellites. Heading 64, range 50, altitude 24, voltage 11.2. Navigating to waypoint 26, 26 satellites. Heading 305, range 74, altitude 24, voltage 11.2, 8 minutes. Navigating to waypoint 27, 25 satellites. Heading 173, range 35, altitude 24, voltage 11.2, 26 satellites. Navigating home. Heading 320, range 41, altitude 25, voltage 11.1, 24 satellites, 25 satellites. Landing, settling before land. 26 satellites. Heading 312, range 2, altitude 7.7, infinite position hold, voltage 11.1, 25 satellites. 26 satellites. Heading 171, range 1, altitude 6.2, voltage 11.1, pilot has control, horizon, 9 minutes, 26 satellites.